I'm seeing the Sun card in the original tarot, okay? So there's a lot of joy in this, there's a lot of warmth. The inner child is coming through. I think someone wants to convey a message, they want to communicate, okay? And I'm also seeing kind of passion after a really dark time, almost like passion reignited, but it's kind of like through a lens where someone's different. It's not who they're not who they were anymore. So a really warm message, okay? So remember to use your discernment with my messages, all right? Specifically, that's how they work, okay? Let's see. Okay, the Magician, yeah, something is brewing. That's what it feels like. And the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yesterday's reading was quite heavy, and I think that one was very connected to Saturn going retrograde. And this feels like I'm hearing good karma. And again, I'm not too sure how to relate to the terms good and bad karma, because karma just is, right? But there's definitely something. I feel like someone's been putting in the work, they've been doing something right. And it's time to take action in that direction. Feels much warmer. Yeah, definitely. You might be seeing a lot of red butterflies. I'm really seeing that red colour, so the root chakra as well. You know, this is not shocking me that the Chariot has just come out. I think, somebody could be travelling right now. They could be somewhere, but I do feel like this energy of just raring to go, just wanting to, move in the direction. And the Knight of Swords as well at the bottom of the deck. That's really stuck out to me. Maybe somebody goes to they work out a lot or something, or maybe they're just naturally very athletic build. Okay. So again, discernment with the messages, okay? Oh my God, the Ace of Wands. This is that passionate energy that's coming through. I say discernment for the reading, but also I feel like discernment with where you're focusing this passionate energy towards, because I do feel like someone's quite excited. Okay, someone's single. Someone is single and they have their eyes on somebody. I love this. I just really like this reading. It feels really, as a reader, you really do embody the energy of who you're reading for. So, and that can take a lot for a reader, So when you feel this kind of nice energy, it's really beautiful. But all messages are there for those who need them, regardless of what kind of energy it is. It comes through for a reason. Okay, Seven of Cups. Someone's fantasizing a lot. Page of Swords. They could be watching somebody online, heavily watching them. Can't take their eyes off. They don't want to watch anyone else. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're definitely watching somebody. And I mean, I think that there might be quite an attraction here. Oh, yeah. It's caused a lot of Four of Wands at the bottom there. That's beautiful. But there's been this Five of Swords. So there's this. I've just heard there needs to be some kind of clarity conversation specifically. There might have been something to do with a conflict that occurred that was preventing something new from beginning once upon a time. And I think this is kind of why someone's been in an indecisive energy with the action that they want to take. But like I said, there's some kind of reignition of their passion. I don't know, maybe it's like maybe it's really is, because it's like a really warm energy. I'm feeling hot, and maybe it is really hot where you are. You're feeling the heat. Or maybe I've heard something about a hot drink as well. But someone's kind of really feeling that, and they want to act on it. They really do. This is what I was seeing before the Devil. Yeah. They need to be mindful that they're not moving from lust-driven energies. There's a lot of passion here. I think that this is kind of the energy that I've moved with previously, especially whilst they've been independent, single, that kind of thing. Yeah, they've been stuck in a lot of... they've been so stuck in their mind with a lot of what's been happening in their life that they haven't exerted their energy externally, which is a healthy choice to make, right? Because they want to go inwards. However, when they have exerted that energy elsewhere into third-party energies, whatever it is for them, it's been driven by an unhealthy kind of, I've heard specifically fixation or desire. So it could be that they do genuinely suffer from addictive tendencies, obsessive tendencies. Sometimes it's like they can't help themselves, the choice that they're making. But with the Seven of Swords, I feel like the more they're overcoming this, the more excited they are about moving forwards towards where they want to go. I've just heard something about battles, overcoming battles. With the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well, I do feel like this is genuinely somebody who has been truly... I've heard specifically closing the door on the past, which is interesting, but I do think that this is somebody who... I've heard also getting your ducks in a row, so maybe somebody says that. I don't usually say that, okay? So again, when things come through to me, it's because I'm embodying the energy. So, readings, it's, you know, try not to make readings fit, right? Because sometimes they're not up for you, and that's okay. But there's always some beautiful, you know, messages that can come through that are just kind of like life lessons sometimes. Even I think that. The Fool energy, yeah, this is like a passionate, that's that come out with the Ace of Wands. Someone's ready, wanting to overcome whatever this is, that has them in a headspin, that has them backwards and forwards when it comes to this, their desire. I think that, you know, they might be concerned that they have a certain addictive tendency that they don't want to move forward with, and they've been having a lot of kind of internal battles with this, and that's kind of been preventing them from moving forwards. But the desire is real, I've just heard. So I think what it's about is redirecting the desire in a healthy way. Understanding the sacred energy, the sacred essence of that beautiful desire. A lot of the work I do is to do with the sacred sexual energy, right? So it's understanding how to utilize and channel that beautiful energy in a much more sacred way, because you recognize that it's your sacred essence. So I'm using that word a lot for a reason, okay? Three of Pentacles are going from single to being together, working together. Wanting to, I'm hearing to become one. So wanting to create something now, something sturdy is specifically what I've heard. Someone's worried that the ship has sailed, but I don't think they're worried so much that they don't want to move forwards. They do want to go in this direction. They're really having some awakenings here. They're learning a lot. They're learning a lot about everything, the choices that they've been making, the temptations they've had, but also the reason they've been so in their headspace, so fantasizing so much about this energy that they have like this desire for. They didn't understand it before. They understand this is like a real deep soul connection is what I'm getting here. Again, please use a discernment, because this is not to do with an abusive, unhealthy connection. That is not what this is, okay? I have to sometimes make that clear again, because some people can really try to make a reading fit for them and it's not for them, right? I say that with so much love. All of these readings are with so much love, okay? And on that note, thank you to all those who respond to these readings with so much love and gratitude, and really from a place of discernment. It's really important for tarot readers, okay? Eight of Pentacles, yeah, someone's working on this. Tower at the bottom of the deck as well. So it's kind of like... they're working on clearing their mind space so they can really operate from what they've been learning, the new way of thinking, okay? There's something about this devil, yeah, King of Swords, devil energy, King of Swords. Someone's been really blocked off to communication. They've not been speaking their truth, but behind the scenes, behind the curtain kind of thing, the actions have been very... lustfully led, I'm going to say it. It's coming through. Again, that energy comes through a lot because I work with that energy, okay? So it comes through a lot. And it's coming through for this. It's something that they learned from a very young age. This has been their kind of distraction tool. I don't know if they've seen it as that though. It's just been something that's made them feel so much better. You know, those dopamine hits or whatever you want to call it, the pleasure hormones. The Emperor. And in this particular card, he's holding a staff, and that staff is the shape, it's like of a certain body part of his. So he's definitely, that's coming through heavy. This is someone who has fought addictions, or even just obsessive behaviors and tendencies to do with their sexual energy, okay? The Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, they're understanding this. They really are understanding this differently. They're not allowing society to just kind of excuse them for this anymore, because it's easily done in certain societies where it's kind of like excusable behaviors, when actually clearly someone's been circulating through, you know, the trauma that's been beneath the surface. However, yeah, Six of Cups, someone's reminiscing on this connection that they really want to move towards. I think that there was a lot of passion in this connection. There would have been passionate, whether it was a night or nights, whatever it is. There's definitely something that someone's reminiscing on. Nothing and no one has ever compared, has ever even come close to this to them. And, you know, maybe you don't want to hear that perhaps they've tried, but that was their healing journey to go through. And again, you do not have to do anything you don't want to do, right? You certainly don't have to do anything I'm telling you to. This is just guidance that's coming through, okay? So no one's telling you to accept somebody back, but this is all about where your discernment comes in once again, where your healing comes in, where your understanding of what your soul deep connection is comes through, okay? And that's why when you look in the mirror and you face your shadow, you truly see your divine nine. That is what ends up guiding you. Someone really wants a new beginning with this past energy. They're not able to communicate this so far. they really find it difficult to communicate their emotions, but I think that they're really concerned that there's something about this past connection that really, it's almost like I'm hearing Kundalini specifically, so, it wouldn't shock me if this is specifically a twin flame connection. We'll find out with the rest of the cards, and if it is, you really need to use a discernment, because that's a very specific journey, right? But I feel like it's something about when this passionate energy, this passionate night or whatever took place, it really activated something in them, and it was an energy that they weren't in the position to be able to control, right? So again, it's that sacral energy. It kind of like, it was, again, I'm seeing like it was just fueled, and I think that maybe they thought it was a bit out of control, is what I'm hearing specifically. And I think that they're concerned, they're scared. They're not like, oh my God, so fearing it, but they're worried that this is something that isn't to do with the connection. It's like, it's going to fuel something within them that's dark. It's going to, you know what I mean? They've tried to suppress it. They've tried to put the lid on it or something, is what I'm seeing. But the more they're learning about this connection, and the more they're understanding the reason why this energy is so powerful for like this connection that they are specifically feeling, but also about themselves, because again, you have to unearth your shadows to truly understand what your drivers are. What is motivating you in this direction. 6 of Swords, Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I do feel like this is a really loving energy, I do, but I also feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why somebody was drawn to this energy, or is right now. Maybe they didn't see in the past, but certainly they are now. This is what they want to move towards, and this is what they are moving towards. I want to make that clear. There's something about this where I'm hearing specifically action, but I think that they've been traveling in this direction for a while. They want to make their moves known, is what I'm specifically hearing, but they also want to be received from a really loving space. So this is going to be all about how they move forward, and again, how they've been fighting with their own inner battle about, whether it's like they're going to feel like they're out of control again when it comes to that energy. It's really big here. 2 of Cups. And the Lovers. So they know what the decision is they want to make. They're very much awakening to this connection. Oh my God, there's the Sun. That's not that. I was seeing the original tarot Sun, but still the Sun. That's it. Oh my God. I think that someone's really beginning to understand that actually this is a healing connection. Whatever happened, it wasn't creating something in them. It was actually awakening something that was already dormant within them that they needed to. It was suppressed basically, and they needed to unearth so they could learn how to healthily handle it. The difference is they didn't understand that that's what they were being asked to do. So to them, they were like, it was just like a lot of feeling like they were losing control or something, but they do want to make this new decision, and they are understanding how this is way more from the heart. That 2 of Cups is 2 equal cups coming together, right? I will just split the deck to the 10 of Cups and Justice, okay? So definitely, there's definitely something, and again, Saturn in retrograde, and Mercury retrograde as well is coming up. So it's kind of like both of them are kind of giving the energy of, yes, revisiting the past, but also bringing karma to the situation, as in like taking accountability, acting right is what I'm hearing, doing the right thing, especially with the Hierophant that came out before. Yeah, no more of this Death card and the 7 of Pentacles. No more of this kind of just leaving it on the back burner, watering, this secret desire, forbidden love, or whatever it is that somebody believes this has been. None of that. Understanding that this has been the most transformative kind of, and yeah, look at that, 3 of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. The reason I said 3 of Cups, I think there's been a lot, I've heard like in the ear, so maybe somebody truly has had, maybe it's literally just seeing things online and they're thinking that this is unhealthy, it's toxic or whatever, they've had a lot of passion here, truly. And this is what caused their indecision, but there's kind of this energy of wanting to ground something and understanding with the King of Pentacles here that actually they get to step up into this role now of learning how to harness that energy. I don't think that before this person, they were not harnessing this energy, and this just amplified that. So it's kind of something that they needed to see that they weren't seeing before. They were brushing away under the carpet, and now they're really understanding it, and they're getting much better at learning how to harness it. However, there are still times where it can feel like a lot of pressure, and they find it really hard in their own headspace to, yeah, look, there's that 10 of Cups, and here's a Justice card that came through. The Tower. King of Cups. Okay. So we've got King of Cups, Knights of Cups to start. Someone's definitely been healing when it comes to the emotional capacity to understand their own, what's happening within them, not just within any of their connections outside of them. But and this has come with a lot of kind of, I've heard painful endings specifically. Okay, especially with that Tower card, they've had to face their own karma, their justice, right? And I just heard that the karmic wheel keeps turning. I think that they're understanding this isn't just once something's done, it's done, release your ex. It's something you need to stay on top of, because those are energies that can filter back through, and it's all about how much you are allowing yourself to be led by this attraction energy, just, validation, and validating others or whatever. You can get into that kind of energy where maybe it's a bit flirty or whatever it is. Maybe you don't see it as something that's actually harmful. Maybe it just feels really lighthearted, especially if you've been in those kind of crowds and have those kind of people around you, where it's taken quite lightly. But someone's really understanding that it's just been feeding something deeper within them, specifically a really specific message. Okay, love yourself first. Exactly. Your self-respect is what makes you attractive, right? But again, that validation, it's been meant a lot to somebody, whether it's like external parties, I'm seeing a lot of like that sexual energy again, or genuinely just people around them, opinions. Keep an open mind. Yeah, your person can differ from your usual type and expectations, and I think that they haven't had an open mind, especially because of everything around them, whether it's this kind of the people that they've, like the ex energies, or just generally, so it's kind of prevented them from accessing high levels of commitment in their love life, because no one has matched what they truly feel within, because that's not what they've been searching for. Honeymoon, separation at the bottom of the deck. This is currently a separation, okay? So moving forward, there could be somebody could right now be away and enjoying like that, that sun and jet that's coming through, that kind of just feeling kind of free, uninhibited, liberated, but they need to be mindful clearly, because their energy they don't want their energy to turn into that regret and loss that they've felt before, that has kept them in like this mind space. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. I think that somebody has had kind of visions, or like they've really seen themselves. I'm going to say it because it's come through again, really specific, literally like proposing. Like that's the level of which somebody within them they feel, but outside of them they haven't been able to express so far, because they've been battling this underneath the surface. Hope this message makes sense. It's just flowing through, so let me know if it's for you. Okay, healing family issues. Yeah, something about their parents, heart-to-heart conversations, parents, or even just siblings. There's been something there that they've really had to again, that's why it's connected to the way that they've suppressed their sacred energy, because there's some kind of stored trauma. I've spoken about this before, that's truly stored. Then in your sacral chakra, specifically your Svadhisthana chakra, right? Is a lot of trauma stored from childhood, is the shame, is a lot of blockages that can lead to a lot of really heavy sexual addictions, right? Because that is not flowing. Yeah, it's been stuck because of that trauma. Heart-to-heart conversations. I do honestly think somebody wants to speak on their truth. They want to make themselves known because they haven't before, and they know this. The only thing is that they don't want to come in with this heavy energy. They want that Two of Cups. They really do. So they're trying to understand how they can do this in a way where they're really trying to be from their emotions, but it's difficult. The answers you need are coming, confirmation. You're very close to achieving your goal. This has been on someone's mind for a very long time now. They're getting better at expressing their emotion, but they feel like it could be more, like even better in their own mind than in their reality. I don't think they've been in this situation yet. So it's going to really be, I think it's going to be an eye-opening experience for them to recognize how much they actually have released the past, released their exes. Really big energy, because that's the very first card that came through there. And these traumas that they've held from their family from a very young age. Have faith in your dreams, because only then will they be able to understand how much they are emotionally and mentally in a position to, I've heard give their all, but give what they truly want to, and know that that's like just the kind of connection that they want, the end of a tough cycle approaches. I think they're doing really well. I really do. A new start is coming. I think the more they're having faith in this vision ahead, the more that they're feeling more motivated to clear through that heart pain, right? Look at the bigger picture. Sagittarius energy, Capricorn energy, Gemini. Luck is on your side. Again, Sagittarius, a big one. So it could be that the full moon was in a Sagittarius was really important for someone, some kind of awakening that took place recently. But also that Sagittarius kind of sees and bring love into the situation, Aquarius energy. Yeah, I think this is something that they're learning how to do. Take time to breathe out. If someone is still easily triggered, you know, especially addictions aren't easy to get over, right? That is something that they need to heal through. So it's kind of like being mindful of that they're going through their own journey, and it's not for you to kind of heal for them, right? It's always, yeah, you can extend your loving energy, but not from kind of taken away from yourself, okay? Playful energy. Again, that was coming through, that playfulness. Recapturing romance, allowing your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I think that's something that's really, I've heard it's lacking here, you know, because I think it's been misdirected in the past. So it's been more unhealthy ways, and now it's kind of like someone's recognised that they want to do things differently, give your relationship a chance, they want to work on this. Again, separation, this is a separation. But there's a reason for that, because clearly there's been a lot of healing that someone has been going through, okay? New love cycle is coming, okay? Forgiving and learning at the bottom of the deck as well. This really is about understanding someone's journey right now, and I think that they want their person anyway, or whoever it is they want to move towards, this Two of Cups energy, that they want to create this Ten of Cups energy with. So like they're happily ever after or whatever. I'm seeing like a really family energy. But you know, I've just heard as well, it's not even like family as such, it's mainly just like they want that fulfillment, their cup's filled when it comes to their love space. But again, love yourself first, that comes from within first and foremost, right? I think someone really does want to end this cycle of where they've just been feeling like that. Even they're thinking, my God, this is going on a bit, you know, where they're just feeling like these feelings of that heartbreak, that pain is just like lingered, you know, and they're just thinking, I think finally get into that space where they're just sick of it. And sometimes that's the space that someone has to reach. You can't do anything about it. They need to reach that space by themselves. And this is what someone's finally getting towards. And the Knight of Swords has come out. They want to steadily, fastly move forwards. That's for sure. Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck as well there, okay? So again, that's giving a lot of, to me, incoming communication. But it could just be fast movement. There's a lot of movement cards here. So, you know, there could be a distance here. There could also be somebody traveling. But I think more than anything, someone wants to really alleviate the pain of just not having conversation, not being in communication with somebody. I honestly feel like that is what this is, which is why they want to move from their heart space more than anything. It's too many cards. Whilst doing the right thing. So, you know, they could still be releasing that energy that's come through there with that. Those attachments to more unhealthy choices, right? Eight of Cups, they're doing it. Eight of Cups, they're moving away from that. Temperance, it's just about patience. Again, Sagittarius energy. Really having that patience so that they can... I think that their mind space was heavily influenced, you know. They could have experienced kind of manipulation of the brain or whatever, you know, where people telling them certain things and making them believe things. And, you know, it really knocked their kind of self-worth, their self-confidence, which I think wasn't there that much before, you know, for them to choose to be with these kind of people. They're really kind of wanting to step into their authenticity now. Again, that Sagittarius energy is so full of joy. And this is that expansion that's coming through. You could be seeing number 3 a lot. So a lot of expansion, right? But yeah, I think that this isn't just like, oh, union vibes. This is just really getting onto that kind of that same page, understanding that let's begin something fresh, something new, something where we don't need to be just watering the heartbreak and actually do something about it so we can come together. That kind of energy, you know. I do feel like that is someone's motivation right now, okay? Again, mindful of the passion that is beneath the surface, okay? Every time I spit this deck, I have to show you. I know I'm not spitting it on screen, but it keeps showing true love. So there's something about this, and that's my Divine Connection card. So, you know, we'll see. But right about now, someone's really understanding that they want to put the effort into this, and they're going to be doing something about that very soon as they heal through and they're walking away from the past, okay? So let me know if this message was for you. It's for somebody who needed that clarity, okay? Sending love.